Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the CreaLien Design podcast. My podcast where I talk about knitting, spinning and sometimes some other fiber crafts that I get up to. Today is the 28th of December 2020. We're in between Christmas and New Year's. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, or at least as wonderful as it could be given the circumstances. We're in full lockdown here in the Netherlands, so you're only supposed to go out to get essential stuff like food. But you wouldn't say so because it's very busy outside. If you hear a lot of noise, then it's all coming from outside. Anyway, I hope you had a lovely Christmas time if you celebrated. If not, I still hope you had a lovely time. My name is Eline. You can find me online as CreaLien Design everywhere. I'm CreaLien Design on Instagram. I'm CreaLien Design on Etsy from the CreaLien Design yarn brand. And I'm CreaLien Design on Ravelry. And that's about it, I think. I'm coming to you as always from Rotterdam in the Netherlands, where I live with my lovely cat Joop, who is just over here on the sofa. He just made himself comfortable, so he's not yet asleep, but I think he will sleep soon. So if you hear some snoring, it's not me. So, welcome everybody. It's been forever since I last recorded. I don't really know why, I was just very busy. And yeah, so if you're a new viewer, welcome. Thank you for checking me out. I saw that there are a lot of new viewers, so hi. I hope that you like what you see. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you. I don't know how you can keep up with me, why you want to watch me, but I'm happy to have you here. So hi. I have a lot of socks to talk about today. Again, I was on a sock finishing mode. Yeah, I finished a lot of socks. I believe I have 11? No, not 11, that's too many. Let me count. 9. I have nine finished socks to show you in my finished objects. So, but there is also a lot of other stuff. I have done some spinning, I've finished another project, knitting project, and I have so many works in progress here that I have worked on over the last month and a half, I don't know, long time. Done a lot of crafting. I didn't think that I would have this much, but it's a lot, so I'm going to go quickly through the finished socks, because you and I don't want to sit here forever, and you've seen them all, so we'll just go quickly through now. So the first, well, these are not in a particular order. I don't think this is the order I finished them in, but the first sock that I'm going to show you is this one. This is Boooo, which was my Halloween colorway, self-striping Halloween colorway. And the last time I showed it to you, I was at this marker and I had already put the heel in and I just finished it. And look what a wonderful blocker I have. Isn't it just beautiful? The shape is so weird. I just cut this out of some cardboard from the cat litter stuff. That's how I roll. I'm so pro. But yeah, Boo, finished, happy, wee. Sock number 1. Then sock number 2 is this one. This is my Hyacinth Bouquet colorway. These are all shop samples, so I can take pictures. So I cannot wear these, but these are for pictures. And if I ever get, like, if Corona ever passes and we can have like markets and stuff, then and these are colors that I have in stock at that moment, then I can use these as samples in my booth, if ever. The last time I showed this one to you, I was at this marker here, and I finished the leg, did the cuff, and then put in an afterthought heel. Hyacinth. Okay, finished. Then I finished my Raindrops on Roses sock. I love this one. I really do. It's really quite winter. Look, I made a wall here. I did something funny when picking up the stitches, and I picked up 2 stitches in the same stitch. Doesn't matter. I will just show you this side. Hey, there's no hole. Hey, that works. So yeah, Raindrops on Roses. And the last time I showed this one to you, I was here. So I had only knit this much, and I completely finished the sock and the heel. That was a lot of knitting, but I really like this colorway, Raindrops on Roses. And see, I'm going through this quickly because we don't have forever, right? And you've seen all of these. So okay, and the next one I finished, or I'm going to show you at least, is this one. I love it so much. This is my Rainbow Breeze colorway, and I finally finished the sock, and I love it so much. I believe the last time I showed it to you, I was already at the ribbing all the way up here, so I only had to finish this and put in a contrasting heel, or no, not a contrasting heel, an afterthought heel. Oh, look at this colorway. Oh, love it so much. This is the pastel version of the Rainbow Fever colorway. Oh, I love this one. I did a shop update with these for dye to order. That's not what I wanted to say, but let's call it dye to order. Pre-orders. Wow, that was difficult. Ugh. Okay, so I did pre-orders for this colorway and the Rainbow Fever colorway, and they sold out super speedy, especially the Rainbow Fever one. It was gone in like no time, which was super fun. Thank you if you were one of the people who purchased. Thank you so much. That was so much fun, and I really had a lot of fun making them, dyeing these yarns. But I cannot have them in the shop that often because they are so much work with all these stripes. I mix all the colors myself from some primary colors. I mix all the other colors. You know, that's a lot of work, a lot of weighing with my skill, with my tiny precision skill. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay, so now I'm going to have to take all these sock blockers out and go for the next batch. And whilst I was putting the other socks on sock blockers, I realized that I hadn't told you what I was actually wearing. This is my hand-spun, hand-dyed, hand-spun, hand-knit sweater that I knit a couple of years ago. I don't know. Is it 3 years now? I'm not sure. I made this a few years ago, and I have worn it a lot. It has all kinds of fiber, merino, BFL, nylon. I think there's some silk in there as well. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in here, and some alpaca maybe, and I don't know, a lot. And I love it. It's the warmest sweater that I have, and I need to wear it now because I don't have a central heating. It broke on Christmas Day, on the 25th. I took a shower, and when I got out of the shower, I checked my phone and I saw that I had a couple of missed phone calls and text messages from my upstairs neighbors who were like, yeah, is it normal that there's black smoke coming out of your chimney? No, that's supposed to be white smoke. So I've had central heating system here in the kitchen, and there's an air shaft going out next to my kitchen window, and that's like my chimney. And so I always see smoke coming out when I use my hot water, or when the radiators are on, because that's hot water as well. But then there's white smoke coming out of it, and it was black smoke. It really did not look good. So I called, I called my landlord, and then I called a central heating repair guy. I called a ton of them. Finally, the 8th or 9th or something that I called said, well, they picked up, and they said, well, unplug the thing, and we're coming by tomorrow. So he came on the 26th, and he said, well, this thing, everything is broken, there are leakages, there are burned through wires, and the whole thing. Well, he said, I can fix this, but then in half a year or so, probably something else is going to break down. So you need a new system, and you cannot use this one because it's just not safe. Okay. That was the 26th. So I called my landlord again, and that guy that was here, he said, well, if your landlord is okay with, well, the whole financial stuff, you can send us an email to our company, and then we'll come by next week, so this week, and we come and place a new system. So okay, all fine and well, and the landlord sent him an email, and I was in the CC, and he got a reply from them, well, we cannot do this because we are closed for the next 2 weeks. What? Why did that guy tell us that he could fix it, or he could replace it, and then, well, whatever. So my landlord and I are looking for someone else who can do this between now and New Year's, hopefully, because it's cold. It's cold outside, there's a lot of wind, so there's a very cold draft here, and I cannot really get it warm. So yeah, fun story. Oh, so nice living here. Anyway, let's move on to some more socks, because that's what you're here, right? You're here for knitting, not for my random stories about being cold. So it's a good thing I knit though, because this sweater is really keeping me warm, and I have like this thermo shirt under it. So anyway, next sock. Tea! This is my pool party colorway. Super happy and cheerful with bright neon yellow and neon orange, and I like it a lot. The last time I showed this one to you, I was here at this marker in the teal stripe. So I got a lot done on this one. Yep, happy pool party. Wee. So I am once or twice a year I get on this finishing kick. I feel like I always have a lot of projects on the go, and I don't mind that at all. I don't get overwhelmed. I really like having a choice of working on something that I want to work on. I don't want to work on something that I don't want to work on, right? So I have choice, and I like that. And I don't mind having 20 pairs of socks on the needles, but once or twice a year I feel like it's getting too much, and then suddenly I get that urge that I really should finish some. So that's why these are all getting finished now. I only have 2 more that I really need to finish. Well, need to finish, of course. I'm the only one who says that really has to happen, but still it has to happen. Next up is this one. This is my highlighted colorway. These are colors of highlighters with black speckles. It's a really fun colorway, I think. It's just something different. And the last time I showed this one to you, I was at this stripe with the pineapple. So I finished the leg and put in an afterthought heel. Yay! This one is really fun, isn't it? I really like this one. It's so cheerful. Yep. And then the next, these are all sample socks, right? These are all my own colorways and such. And the next one I finished was this one. This is my Castle Life colorway. For this one I didn't put in a matching heel with the Hufflepuff, but I put in a Gryffindor heel. And the reason I did that was well, if I was going to do start with yellow again, then I would have to take out a full repeat. That would be so wasteful for the yarn. I would have to waste so much yarn. I didn't want to do that. And I thought, well, if I'm going to put a Hufflepuff here, it will be yellow, black, yellow again. Or it will be yellow, blue, grey. And then it wouldn't, like, it wouldn't fit well. Nothing that I would put in here would fit well. So I thought, well, Gryffindor is the most fun. So I'm just going to put in Gryffindor. So yeah, Castle Life. And with this one I was here at Hufflepuff. So I finished the leg and then put in the heel. Yeah, so that was it for all the sample socks. I have one finished pair, so I'm gonna put that one on the blockers now. The last finished socks that I want to show you are these. I finished a pair, a full pair for myself, not for shop samples, but just for me to wear. Yay! And I'm so happy with these. Okay, so where shall I start? The pattern that I used is the Mercury sock pattern by McKenzie. I will put it on the bottom of the screen. And it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. It's knit top down with a heel flap and gusset, and then down the foot. It has a lace pattern. Originally in the pattern, the lace pattern goes all the way over the foot as well, and you don't use contrast for the slip stitch heel. So those are my modifications. I only did the patterning on the leg, and then I faded out the patterning on the foot. I don't, yeah, you can see it, but you can see this line. That's I just rearranged the stitches. So yeah, that's what I did. And I did, instead of a slip stitch heel, I find a slip stitch heel too much work. Like knitting every row twice feels unnecessary, and you get exactly the same result if you do it in color work. So I just did a color work heel and used a contrasting color. That's my Loulou colorway that I used. Well, look how beautiful. So yeah, that's what I did. The colorway that I used here is my Galaxy colorway, and I used my gold sparkle sock base. I knit these top down because that's what the pattern calls for. And when I started these, I was in my 2 at a time sock phase. So I started them 2 at a time. I knit them 2 at a time all the way up to here. And when I picked them up again, here, this is how far I was. So when I picked them up recently, I just put each of them on their own needle and finished them like that. I didn't want to do 2 at a time anymore. So I decided not to do 2 at a time anymore. Oh, well, here you can see the stitch pattern. It's a really beautiful lace. It's really, really pretty, but it just doesn't show up with the combination of well, with this yarn. The yarn is too dark and too busy to show up the lace. That's the reason I faded it out on the foot. That's the reason that I, yeah, if you can't see it anyway, well, why put in all the effort, right? So maybe if I hold it over my hand, you can see it a bit better. And then I can show you what I did on the foot. See how I just faded out the lace pattern? So yeah, the last finished socks, you guys. We're done with socks for now. For now. Look at this pile. Look, all these socks and all these fun colors. It makes me so happy. Yay, all the socks. Now, the next finished object is not a sock. Oh, whoa. Okay, it's, let me put it on. They are fingerless mittens. This is really funny. Look, fingerless mittens. Yay! These are the mittens I knit for my boyfriend. So last year in autumn, he asked if I would knit him some mittens, fingerless mittens, because he likes fishing, and when he fishes his hands go cold. So he asked me for fingerless mittens, and I thought, well, fine, that's a quick knit, right? Well, I didn't realize how big his hands are. They are ginormous, insane. They are huge. Yeah, they're big. Well, anyway, I just didn't want to knit them anymore. And then his birthday is the 1st of September, so this summer I decided, well, I'm going to gift these to him for his birthday. Okay, but I didn't follow a pattern for these, and I had tried the thumb a million times and they just wouldn't fit. So it took forever and ever and ever, and then it was the 1st of September and they were not yet finished, so I just wrapped these up with the skein of yarn attached and with the needles attached. Here, this is your birthday gift. They're not finished yet, but now I finished them 3 months and 10 days after his birthday. Right on time, yay! But they fit him perfectly. I will pop in a picture if I can find the picture, if I remember. They fit him really, really well. But look how big they are on me, and the thumb, it looks so weird, but it really does fit him very well. And I really like the yarn. This was one of my very first yarns that I dyed as a business, like for CreaLien Design, not just for myself, for hobby. And he loved it, and this is the yarn he picked out of my shop to let me knit him some mittens with. That sentence probably wasn't correct, but that's okay. I really, really like them, and now he can finally have them. I had to keep them because I wanted to show him on the podcast. So yeah, now he can finally have them. Okay, that was it for the knitting finished objects, but I have been spinning as well. And I don't know if you remember, but in my last episode I spun a little bobbin with some a mini batt that I got from SpinCity UK, from Louise, when I ordered from her in the past. And I plied it. And this is the finished yarn. And I think it looks super cute. And I really like the colors. I don't really know what's in here for what type of fibers. I think there's some corridor and some merino, and it looks like there's some bamboo and some nylon. Yeah, I think it's really cute. And let me see where I wrote down what I got. It's 13 grams and 39 meters. And if that were 100 grams, it would be 300 meters. And I think that's right, because this really looks like a DKW yarn. Pretty. And the next spin that I finished, I'm really excited about this one. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? It's the white sparkling mix of everything that I spun. Oh, look, I two-plied this. All the singles are spun on my Nano, and I plied this on my Nano as well. And the green one from just a second ago was also plied on my Nano. Look how sparkly it is. You can really see the sparkle. I love it. I love it so much, with the pops of Surrey silk. These were rolags that I blended myself on my blending board. And I put in all the fibers. Like there's Polworth and merino and silk and wool and nylon and Surrey silk. And there are some other bits and things in there as well, I believe. I love it so much. Look at these naps. You see the little naps, the wool naps here. I love that. Here, look at this bundle of sparkle. I love it so much. And this one got me, it's 92 grams and it's 294 meters, which if it were 100 grams it would be 320 meters. And that's about right, because I really think this is like, yeah, because of the Polworth it's really poofy, but the places that don't have Polworth are not as poofy, especially the places with just the smooth silk. So it goes from a fingering weight up to a sport weight, I would say. Maybe some DK weight in there. I'm super happy with this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. At first I was talking about making more rolags and making a sweater's quantity of this, but I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to make more rolags. I don't enjoy making rolags that much, so I don't want to make more. A hat maybe? Mittens? I'm not sure yet. I had to stop recording for a moment because my upstairs neighbors are chatting in the hallway and I don't want them to hear me. But they've been chatting for half an hour now. And the sun is setting and I really need the daylight. So I gotta keep on recording. And I'm not sure, but you might be able to hear them. I can hear every word they're saying, but I hope they cannot hear what I'm saying, and I hope you cannot hear what they are saying. But if you can, I'm really sorry. I cannot do anything about it. If I don't finish this now, I don't know when I will be able to. So we're just gonna keep going and hope that they don't hear me. And yeah, I hope that you don't hear them. So where I was showing my finished handspun yarns. And this is the other one that I finished. Oh, doesn't it look amazing? Look at that. Oh, I love it so much. And it was so much fun to spin. The fiber was by Wonderfulwool. By Wonderfulwool on Etsy. And it's Shropshire. No, Shropshire. Last time I was also saying Shropshire and I wasn't sure how to pronounce it, and a lovely viewer pointed out to me she is actually from that region, and she said you say it more like Shropshire. And that makes sense. I was in my head referring it to Shropshire as in the Shire from The Hobbit, but it's more like Yorkshire. You don't say Yorkshire, you say Yorkshire. So, and this is like Shropshire, if I understood correctly. If not, I'm really sorry that I'm confusing everyone. But yeah, this was Shropshire, and I got, in the end, it was 97 grams and 345 meters. So that's like, well, that's fingering weight. Sports to fingering weight, heavy fingering, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it looks like a heavy fingering weight, or just true fingering, I don't know. But it was a lot of fun to spin. It was a really nice fiber to spin, and it's a lot softer than I'd expected. Well, it's a woolly wool, like it's not superwash and it's not merino soft, it's wool, but it's really nice. It's rustic but still very soft. And I'm gonna knit socks out of this. This is going to absolutely be a pair of socks. I love my wool socks that don't have nylon and that are not superwash. They are extra warm, and as long as you knit them at a tight gauge, everything is fine. I don't wear holes in my 2-ply socks without nylon or with nylon, but this is definitely going to be a pair of socks. And I love these colors. Just one more time, just look at that. So much depth in all those colors and all the combinations. Super happy with this one. And that's it for my finished objects. We're finally through the finished objects, so we're moving on to works in progress. How about some socks? Yes, I have more socks on the needles. Let me show you. Like I said, I have 2 more pairs that I really want to finish this year, which is gonna happen. And one of them that I picked up again is my VickeVira colorway, and I love it. It's so happy and cheerful and rainbow. I just need to finish the cuff up here, the ribbing. I started the ribbing, but I haven't got any really far yet. This marker is where I was when I showed it to you the last time, and that's also where I will put in my afterthought heel. So super happy about this one, and I'm going to finish this one soon. And the other one that I still have on the needles is this one, which is Bilbo's Happy Place. And this one was the last time. This marker doesn't mean anything. Let me take it off. The last time I showed it to you, I was here at the pizza point. Look at the pizza point. There it is. That's where I was. So I finished the leg. I'm nearly done with the cuff. One more stripe, then bind off, and then I will put in the afterthought heel in here, and then that's it. Then I have all my sample socks done. Yeah, and that's really nice because I love knitting with my own yarn, don't get me wrong, but when I knit sample socks, it's not like I'm gonna wear them, right? And knitting 7, 8, 9 sample socks is no fun because I knit them, I take pictures of them, and they go in a box in the closet. It's worse than gift knitting, really, because when you do make gift knits, which is not fun to do, in my opinion, but gifting the gifts is fun because you see someone's response and you see someone happy with it and you see the person using it. But sample knitting, it just ends up in the closet and that's where it stays. So 9 socks, sample socks knit over, well, these are nearly finished, so over the last 2 or 3 months. That's 4.5 pairs of socks that I cannot wear, and it feels just like that's the only thing I've been knitting the last year, because I have a lot more sample socks and I'm really ready to knit some socks for myself, for my own personal use, because it feels like I've only been knitting those socks and not like, I don't feel very productive. I don't feel like I don't get the reward. Oh, I cannot say that word. When you finish something and you're like super excited because you get to wear it, and then no, and again, no. That's kind of sad, right? So next is, I did actually, okay, this is the last sock. I promise you, it's the very last sock of this episode, alright? But I did actually knit myself a sock. Not for my shop, but for myself. Yay, super happy opal sock. This wasn't started the last time I recorded. I started this a few weeks ago and just knit the whole sock. The yarn that I'm using is, let me see, it's opal. Oh, it's not opal, it's Regia Fluormania. This is quite an old yarn, and the color is 06589, which is here. And the second sock will be the exact opposite of this one. So I think that's a lot of fun. These are DK weight socks. These balls are 150 grams, which is 5.3 ounces, and 375 meters, which is 510 yards. It's a six ply yarn, which is DK. So I'm knitting this, well, I knit that one on 2.75 millimeter needles. I don't know what it is in US terms. 2.75 millimeter needles. Oh great, now we also get a chopper. All the noises. There was a shooting down the street last night, and there was also a chopper. Well, maybe there was another shooting. It happens a lot around here, actually. Shootings, stabbings, robberies, everything. It's such a nice neighborhood where I live. It's so great. It's fantastic. You see people die on the street. You see people getting shot. Street fight, accident. Like 2 weeks ago, someone parked their car into a street lantern and they started fighting. Oh well, that's what happens when you live where I live. I wanted to say you get used to it, but you don't. But you know what? Every time there's a collision, like if there's a traffic accident, when I'm just sitting here, I know by the sound of it if it's something worth looking or not. And if there's a fight, I know if it's something worth looking or not. Like, it happens so often that I know, just, you know, well, whatever. As long as they don't shoot at me, then it's all fine, I think. Okay, so the next work in progress, the project that I worked on, was my blanket, my Cozy Memories blanket. Yay! Isn't it fun? It's starting to look like, I wanted to say it's starting to look like a blanket, but it's like a face blanket. A blanket for my head. yeah, but whew. So I'm really liking this. I'm only putting in hand-dyed yarns, speckled and variegated yarns, no self-striping and no commercial, and yeah, liking it. The outside yarn, the grey yarn, I should say, is Drops Noord in color 3. Well, did that focus? No, I don't think it did. Which is 45% alpaca, 30% polyamide and 25% wool. Non-superwash, but super soft. The needles I'm using are 3mm Adi Colibri. And I copied Vrouwtje, and she did, what's the name of her podcast now? Vrouwtje's Wool Boutique? I think Vrouwtje's Wool Boutique. She's also on Etsy. I believe it's Vrouwtje's Wool Boutique. And I just fully copied her. She's knitting the exact same thing basically. She used the Coziest Memory blanket pattern, I believe. And I don't know her stitch count. I didn't look at the pattern because it's just mitered squares and I know how to knit mitered squares. I do 45 stitches cast on. And center double decrease. I do 5 garter rows in drops, and then in stockinette I knit the little center square. I'm liking it. I did weave in a bunch of the ends already, not all of them, but quite a few of them. Yep, I like where this is going. So okay, so I had planned on sort of gradiating the colors. So this is lots of red going into purple and blue, and here it's going into pinks, and this is more going into oranges and yellows. But I'm thinking of stopping that, or not doing that anymore, because I just want to grab a yarn that I want to knit with, and I don't want to have to think about it too much, because that's the reason this is going so slowly, is because I'm really planning all the colors and laying them out and seeing if it works or not. And I think I'm just going to do whatever color I want to knit with. If I want to do a green one now, I can do a green one, but I'm not sure yet, so it's on pause until I make a decision. But I have added a few squares to it, which is really nice. And then, ooh, I worked on my Zigzag shawl. This is the Wishes Do Come True shawl by VickeVira. Let me show the pattern. This is it. Wishes Do Come True by VickeVira. And it's a lovely shawl. I'm using my hand spun. These are the cakes. This is what I have left. This one was dyed by my lovely friend Natalie, who is Wisp online, and this one was dyed by myself a long time ago. Mine was a merino nylon, and this was a merino silk. And I've been knitting on this a lot. Dum, da, dum. This is what I got, you guys. So the last time I showed it to you, I was at this marker with this little sheep here at the yellow row, and I added all of that. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? So I knit from this one all the way up to where I am now, which doesn't seem like a lot because it's like 10 centimeters or so. Is it even? Yeah, I think that's about 10 centimeters. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but at this point I have 574 stitches on the needles. And I calculated from here up to here the amount of stitches, and it's almost a complete pair of socks. If you like, I calculate the amount of stitches, divided it by socks terms, and I measure in socks because that says a lot to me, because I've knit so many socks that's what I measure with. This, what I added, is almost a full pair of socks, so I think that's quite a bit, and I'm still loving it. It's on a 60 centimeter needle, so I can't really show you. This is the upside, like it will be around my neck like this, but I can't really show you, right? Because, well, it's all bunched up on the needle. But I am loving it. I don't know how many times I can say it, but I really do love it. Yeah, about the pattern is great. Like I said previously, when I knit it again, I will make some changes. I will make sure to have all the increases and decreases on the right side rows, so that the wrong side rows are rest rows and I can just knit across, because now the right side and the wrong side are both of them have increases and decreases, which is unnecessary, and it's slowing me down. But yeah, I'm really liking where this is going. I only need 8 more stripes. If I knit 8 more color stripes, I'm at the same point, well, I'm at the point of the size that the shawl that was knit for the pattern, the sample shawl pattern sample, has. So 8 more stripes and then I'm there. But I'm not sure if I will quit then. I'm thinking I don't know, I think I want to finish the yarn. So there's a lot more to go. But if I quit when the pattern is finished, then I'm over 90% already. So it's going really well. It's going really well. But I'm only at 2/3 of my yarn, so still a lot to go. But I'm really loving this project. And it's funny because usually with a shawl project I get bored near the end. And sure, I don't like that many stitches. It's no fun to knit that many stitches. But I'm so curious to see the color change. And every color stripe that you add completely changes the look of the shawl. It's like not the same shawl anymore. And that's so much fun. I'm so curious every time to see how it grows. And knowing that I'm nearly there also helps, but I still think it's a lot of fun to work on. So yeah, I do still work on it a lot. Then the next project I want to show you is one that I haven't showed you in a long time, because I haven't worked on it in a year. And that is my, where's the pattern? I was looking for the pattern in my project bag. It's the Friese shawl by Maliha Designs, Lisa Hannes from Maliha Design. This is it, the Friese shawl by, I think her name is, oh, it's here, can you see that? Yep, by Lisa Hannes, who is Maliha Design. That's what it says there, right? Yeah. So for that shawl, I'm using handspun. One skein is handspun. Oh, what's it doing in there? That doesn't belong here. Okay. I'm using this handspun skein. This is 100% superfine merino. And this was dyed by my friend Natalie in the colorway Bloom, and I spun this. And then this is the other fiber yarn that I'm using. This is not hand spun. This is 80% Angora, 80% Angora. Look at the fluff. And 20% merino, superfine merino wool. I believe it's superfine merino. Yeah, and this one is 100 grams per 420 meters. This is from Seidenhazo. .de. The site is up here. And it's from lovely bunnies, Angora bunnies, happy bunnies. Look at all those cute bunnies. So, and I got this, this was a gift from my boyfriend 2 years ago. That's also when I casted on this project. Not long after my birthday. And this is what I got. This is what I have so far. And it's all wrinkly because it's been bunched up in my bag, in my project bag. But look, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Look at that stitch pattern. Oh, I love it so much. I think the last time I showed it to you, this is where I was. Because this marker was hanging here. Well, it was a different marker, but this was hanging here. But I worked all the way up here. So yeah, I'm loving this. I'm really not bored with it yet. I'm just going until I think it's big enough. Even the back is pretty. Look at the back side. That's the wrong side, but I still think it looks really right. So this is how far, well, so at this point it's like a little shawlette. It's a tiny little shawl. This is so soft. I wish you could feel this. It's so soft. It's like when you're, you know, when you're scratching a bunny right between the ears here, and so when you think, oh, this is so soft. Well, that's how this feels. It's so soft. Oh, you want to pet it all the time. And can you see the fluff? Can you see how fluffy that is? The halo. Yeah, you can definitely see that. Oh, I think this pattern and yarn and the yarns together are just the perfect combination. The reason this goes, I still really love the pattern and I love working on it. It's so much fun and it's really not that difficult. It's just a pattern that you follow, right? So it's just, if you follow the pattern, you can do it. But it's a pattern that you have to think about. So I'm not doing this in front of the TV, but I decided that I'm going to watch less TV in the evenings and then I'm just going to listen to audiobooks, and I can do this. I can knit this while listening to audiobooks. I just love it. I want to show. But even after 2 years, I still love it so much and I still want to work on it. I love it. I love it so much, and I'm so happy that I picked it up again because I really enjoy knitting it. I really enjoy knitting it. And so yeah, you will see this again soon. It's, like I said, the Friese Shawl by Lisa Hannes. I started a new project. It's a hat because I want to be able to knit continental style. I'm an English style knitter. I'm a thrower. Well, I'm more like a flicker. I don't let go of my needle, but I flick, as they call it. But I want to be able to, well, I can knit continental style, but I just want to get faster at it for a stockinette project. And the reason for that is I think I'm at my maximum speed for my style of knitting. I don't think with the way I knit that I can speed up. Maybe a little bit, but not a lot. When I knit continental style, so with my left hand, even though it feels really uncomfortable because I'm just not used to the movement, I knit just as fast as I knit with the method that I've used for, I'm 30 now, so over 20 years I think, then once I start feeling comfortable and once I've memorized that I have that muscle memory and I can get better at it, then I should be able to knit so much faster. And I get it. Knitting doesn't have to be fast, and I'm not a slow knitter, but I like challenges, right? So sometimes I just want to do something new that I haven't done yet, and after all these years of knitting, there aren't that many things that I haven't done yet. So I thought, well, I just want to learn how to knit continental style. Well, I could knit continental style, but I just wanted a project to practice it more so that I can get faster at it. Wow, words, that was a lot of words. Anyway, I've been knitting a hat. I'm not using any pattern. I just cast on 120 stitches on 3.5mm needles with fingering weight, and just started knitting. I did knit stockinette. Well, I did knit stockinette up to here. Then you see a garter ridge. Then I increased a couple of stitches and continue in stockinette. And this will be a folded brim, so I'm going to fold this to the inside, and then when I get to the same amount of rows, I will pick up and knit this together, and it will be an inside folded brim. I'm using zebra yarn for this in my Birdsongs colorway. I love this colorway. I really love this colorway, and this yarn is so much fun. It's really weird. It's really pooting in a strange way. And this is the yarn. I had purchased a batch of undyed zebra yarn, and because I wanted to try it out. And it's 100% superwash merino, and it's a 2-ply yarn, and one of the plies is undyed and the other ply is, well, it's alternated in pieces, like a little bit is white, a little bit is black, a little bit white, a little bit black, and a little bit, and I can't find my words anymore. Anyway, so you get a fun barber pulling effect. I just had a couple of skeins. It's not a base that I'm stocking, but I love how it takes the yarn, how it takes the dye, how it takes colors, and it's really nice and soft. So I thought, well, I'm gonna grab a skein for myself and knit myself a hat in stockinette with continental style knitting. There was a lot of talking about a hat. Oh, it's such a simple hat pattern, but well, it's not a pattern, it's just 120 stitches on 3.5mm needles. It's really, really simple. And then the last work in progress, you guys. I'm nearly there. I'm gonna change batteries because my battery light is blinking. We have a fresh battery, and oh my word, I think this episode is going to be so long. I'm so sorry. I'm at my last work in progress, last knitting work in progress. I have one spinning work in progress, and this is a shawl. No, it's a cowl. And I did a advent calendar this year, and I wanted to knit something with my own advent calendar, and it took me almost all of advent to think of a pattern that I wanted to knit. Well, no, there were a ton of patterns that I wanted to knit, but most of them were blankets, knit or crochet, and I really shouldn't start another blanket, so I wanted to knit something else. I decided to go for a cowl. I have so many fingering weight cowls and shawls, and I wanted something thicker. So I didn't want to use just fingering weight. I decided to hold it together with a brushed alpaca silk yarn. That's this. It's this super fluffy base that so many indie dyers stock. I don't have it in my shop. I just had one skein for myself. This is an undyed skein, but I know that hello, hey. Drops has Drops brushed alpaca, I think that it's called. It's the Surreal Alpaca lace, which is the same. So when I run out of it, if I run out of this, I'm just going to continue with Drops. So again, I didn't use a pattern, I just made something up on the go, and this is what I got so far. I'm knitting this out of my own yarn advent calendar that I dyed for this year. So this is color 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I've started color 9. Yeah, I was thinking that I didn't count correctly. So I cast it on with an undyed white yarn and held together with the alpaca, and then I just held the alpaca together with all the minis. Yeah, and I'm knitting this top down. I think this also has 120 stitches, but I'm knitting this on thicker needles. And it's obviously because it's held together. This is 3.5 millimeters. Oh, then the other one was 3 millimeter needles, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it's a thicker weight yarn. Holding these together is more like DK weight. So it's going pretty fast. I like it. I don't remember what I did. I have a note somewhere. I'm increasing, I don't know, every 8th color. No, every 4th color, I think, and it will will become wider, and then it will just be a really warm, snuggly and soft cowl. Oh, and it's stuck in my earring. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, I cannot show you the minis that I've already used, but this is the one that I'm using now, which was apparently day 9. And next up is this one. This is day 10. And then I have all the other minis here. This, well, I don't know how I will be able to show you, but these will come next. That bottom row there, and then these. This is the last one. This is day 25. I had 25 minis in my advent calendar. I just dropped this one. I really had so much fun. Well, first of all, I had a lot of fun dyeing my advent calendar. I was super excited about what I created, but it's kind of scary as well, because people pay me this much money to send them yarn and they don't know if they're gonna love it. I don't know if they're gonna love it, and it's kind of scary to just send them something and then hope that they love it. It's like, I don't know, it was kind of scary. So but there were so many people on social media sharing my advent calendar on a regular basis, and that was so much fun to watch, and I got so many positive responses to my advent calendar, and that really made me so happy, because I really was kind of nervous about it. And knowing that people, like, I got messages like, will you dye this colorway on a big skein? Or, oh my god, I love this one so much, I wish I had more of it. Or, oh, I love your calendar so much, next year I want one too. And that's so nice to hear. It's always nice to hear that, right? If you made something and people love it. But especially with these calendars, I was really nervous about them. So seeing people, like, you being happy about it, that made me so happy. And it was a big relief. Every time I saw someone unpacking their little gift baggie, I got nervous. I got so nervous. What if they don't like it? What if this is not their colors? And I know if I'm gonna dye 25 mini skeins and it's going to a lot of people, I cannot please everyone, and not everyone will like every mini. That's just the way it is, right? But the amount of positive responses that I got were overwhelming. So if you were one of those, so I'm like René Kies on Instagram, Vrouwtje on YouTube, Sietske from Siets aan de Maak on YouTube and Instagram, Winnie from Winnie's Wool, Instagram, no, mostly on YouTube, Les Puanitas, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but and some other people, I'm sorry if I forgot you, but really, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm really glad that you like it so much. Okay, so yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm just... Let's move on to my very last work in progress. And it's really getting dark outside. And you can see that I have my Christmas lights on. And you can see the blending of the Christmas lights and the natural light. So my very last work in progress is a spinning work in progress. I spun some fibre and I have 2 full bobbins. Here we are, 2 full bobbins. Well, they are not full, of course, but I'm spinning for a 3-ply, traditional 3-ply. And as I said, it's getting dark and my camera doesn't want to focus anymore. But as I said in my last video, I'm not the biggest fan of 3-ply yarns. It's not my preferred way of spinning. It's not my preferred yarn. But this fibre, I dyed this 2 years ago or something, maybe longer. And this is it. It's a superwash merino nylon blend in a true turquoise, a mint green, a pink, and a pinkish red. And they were all very saturated color. Well, not necessarily saturated, but they were all solid colors. There wasn't any variegation within the color. So I have known for a long time that I wanted to spin this in a 3-ply sock yarn, traditional 3-ply, because then you have so much more, well, you have so many more color combinations. So I have 2 bobbins and the third needs to be spun. And then I have another sock yarn. It's supposed to be a sock yarn. I think it will be a sock yarn. I spun it quite fine. So yeah, that's gonna be alright. And that's it, you guys. Oh my word, I really think this episode is very long, and I'm so sorry, but I haven't been around for a long time and I had so many things to show you. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and write a comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you will have a wonderful new year. Be careful with the fireworks. In the Netherlands, fireworks are forbidden this year, so no more fireworks. I hope you will all have a lovely time. Take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!